The Air Force, they are great partners to our civil aviation authorities. Really, really great partners. You can see the kind of cooperation we got from them during the last air show. They came and displayed, their aircraft. They did a parade and everything. So we are not working across purposes with the Air Force. We are great partners. However, by their military tradition, there are certain areas of military operations that they don't allow the civil authorities to get into or to know about. And so we do not regulate their aircrafts. The NCA is not in charge of regulating military aircraft and their personnel. They have their own regulatory authorities within the Nigerian Air Force. Unfortunately, so it is difficult for us. If they call for our help, fine, but they have to call for our help. But it's difficult for us to interfere with military aviation and what they do. So most of those accidents are completely outside our purview that happen with the military aircrafts, the ones that happen under Buhari and here, it did not concern the Ministry of Aviation at all.
Oh, TVC.
I appreciate this question, and this is an opportunity for me to say what I should have said in the Senate today, because it is the FEC meeting that deprived me from going to the Senate. I should have been at the Senate today, but I spoke to my chairman, the chairman Senate committee. He quite understood, and I explained to him that I had very important memos here. But of course, the airlines who are at the center of it all, they are there now at the National Assembly, and I was willing to join them. And the NCA also, I told the NCA to join them at the Senate today. But thankfully, this is a great opportunity because it's the same day, same time that they are supposed to have the hearing at the Senate that I need to make this clarification. One, the industry has long been deregulated. The moment Babangida said private airlines can come in and fly, they deregulated in terms of pricing and all of, just like a free market. And so government has absolutely no powers to fix prices for private enterprise, including the aviation industry. Now, but that does not mean that we are leaving them without engaging them or rudderless. We have engaged them at several fronts. They've told us their problems: access to aircrafts, access to good leased aircraft on very good conditions. The fact that they still have to do most of their sea checks abroad. There are no maintenance facilities here for their aircraft, so they have to source a lot of dollars to take those aircrafts abroad for maintenance, and on and on and on. However, related to what you asked, there are the issues of the taxes. So it's all rolled into one. Now, let me begin. Let me address it holistically. On the issue of having access to cheaper aircrafts, this government has done quite a lot. It is only a matter of time for the results to start coming out. You remember that we have passed the practice direction regarding the Cape Town Convention, and for the first time in the last 3-4 weeks, one of our local airlines now began to assess dry lease. The dry lease was 3 times lesser than the price they normally get those aircraft, and it was given by one of the best and the biggest leasers in the world, AirCap. I'm sure you know AirCap. AirCap from Dublin. They are one of the biggest in the world. They decided, after abandoning Nigeria for nearly 2 decades, nobody touched Nigeria. It was President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government that restored confidence again in the system. So that is the first that they have given us. In the next few months or 1 year, we expect a lot of these dry leased aircraft to come in. One, it will reduce the cost of operation, the cost of the leasing, and then again, it will make more people, more of these operators have access to the aircraft, and it will create competition. The only thing that can drive prices down in the free economy is competition, no other thing. You see what is happening between Dangote and NNPC now, and all that. Everybody is reducing by 20 naira. Today they'll reduce again by 10 naira because it's competition. They want, no matter how small the margins are, they want to be better than their competitor. So that is what we're trying to create in the aviation sector, to force that competition by making sure that more of them have access to cheaper aircrafts. So government can create that enabling environment. So in the next few months, or within the next 1 year, I expect that we will have more aircrafts to service more routes and force down the prices by pure competition. We're going to do that. That I assure you. The second one is on the issue of the taxes, which is rolled into what you asked about the ECOWAS. Yes, we have received the communication. Yes, I called a meeting yesterday about it. But it is persuasive. The ECOWAS still do not have that jurisdiction to force us to do what we have to do. They passed that, this thing, they circulated around all the aviation authorities in the region. We have received our own, and we've called a meeting over it. Now, the meeting goes beyond aviation because I am not the owner of Nigeria. So I'm not the owner of those taxes. All the taxes we collect, they go into the federation accounts. And so you have the tax authorities, you have the Minister of Finance, you have all the tax authorities. They must come to the same table, I, as Festus Keyamo or Bayo Danduga, cannot wake up one morning and say, I'm abolishing the tax because I'm an aviation minister. It's not possible. It is the tax authorities that will look at them and say, these are the taxes we can reduce, these are the taxes we cannot reduce. We are on a talking table on that now. I have escalated the matter as Minister of Aviation. I said, look, it's affecting my sector. So I've escalated the matter to the relevant people. In fact, Hadiza Bala, let me mention, has been very, very good on this. He's been working very hard on this to rally us to one table to look at it. So we are looking at it holistically because, like I said, only aviation cannot look at it. Financial people should also look at it to come to a reasonable, because whether we like it or not, we also need to raise revenues to maintain our infrastructure. All of these things I just mentioned, now where are we going to get the money from? We provide navigational services. We provide services at the airports. We need to maintain our airports. So there must be some kind of taxes. It is not true that they said abolish. So let me correct what you asked. They didn't. They never said so. They said reduce significantly to accommodate passengers within the region. That is so. And it was persuasive. It's a moral persuasion that they gave to the region to do that. So we're working on that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you very much. I think we are going to...
Thank you, my big brother, Bayo Onanuga. I apologize. I had a meeting with Mr. President after council, so I came a bit late. So for the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development, we presented a number of memos to council today, which Mr. President, sitting in council as chairman, graciously approved with the concurrence of council. The first one is that we sought approval for award of contracts for the continuous maintenance and technical support services at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano. So let me put this in a context. Remember that we built about 4 terminals across the country, starting from the time of, I think, Yaradua or Jonathan, which was completed in the time of Buhari. In Abuja, in Lagos, in Kano, and in Port Harcourt, those new Chinese terminals. But what we did was that since it was the CCECC that built those terminals and put those equipments there, we agreed with them that over a period of time, they should continue to maintain those equipments, the chillers, the carousels, the lifts, the toilets, and on. But within that period, they will also train Nigerians to take over the maintenance after some time, so that they will not continue to maintain them perpetually. And that was the agreement that was signed with the CCECC. So the maintenance period is still on. The first maintenance expired, the first period of maintenance expired, and then we sought for another 2-year maintenance, extension of 2-year maintenance by CCECC for them to continue to maintain those facilities at the Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. That is the first one, which was graciously approved. The second one is, the second, third, and fourth one are infrastructural improvements, real infrastructure in navigation equipment. The president is very, very concerned about improving the navigational aids in Nigeria. He has told me a number of times that he wants Nigerians to fly safely within our airspace. And so he has actually mandated us that whatever equipment we need to upgrade so that we can meet modern standards across the world, he would gladly look at them. So these are some of the upgrades we are doing across Nigeria to ensure that Nigerians are safe when they fly within our airspace. Just to also let you know that Our airspace is one of the safest in Africa now because of our compliance level. Since this government came to power, our compliance level has gone very high. And that, of course, is credited to Mr. President, who has kept an eye on us to ensure that Nigerians are safe in the sky. And so the first one was the award of contract for the procurement, installation, and commissioning of what they call the Advanced Surface Movement Guidance and Control System on installed and ongoing installations of surface movement radar in Lagos and Abuja airports. So this type of equipment will not only detect anything moving on the surface of the runway, it will detect the exact spot it is and be able to give signals to approaching aircraft, and also detect other things at all within the approach parts of the aircraft into those runways. And it's an advanced kind of system. Anything that obstructs the approach of the runway, they will detect it immediately at the tower and advise accordingly. I'm sure you saw the accidents that happened recently where we had to run into animals on the runway and all of that, So that is an improvement on that. The other one is approval award of contract for the procurement, installation, and commissioning of modular air traffic control tower cabin with 360-degree view at 8 different airports. We're establishing what they call the modular air traffic control systems. The other one, of course, is another infrastructural upgrade that has to do with navigation again. Approval for the award of contract for the installation of aeronautical frequency spectrum monitor and interference detection solution. That, of course, improves the communication between the ground crew, the people at the tower, and, of course, the aircrafts that are approaching or taking off. And they normally guide them. That is the system that guides them to approach the runway, communication. So this has to do with not just the detection system, but the communication system between the tower and the pilots. We are getting new equipments, upgrading those equipments in that respect. So the other one is the procurement, replacement, and upgrade of the remote control air-ground communication total VHF radio system in 9 sites, 9 airports. Again, this is also a radio system we are upgrading in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Ilorin, Abuja, Kano, Abuja again, that's another part of Abuja, Maiduguri, Sokoto, and Wukari airports. We're improving the radio systems in all of these airports. And the last one, of course, is that we also, we have been trying to facilitate passenger experience and upgrade passenger experience in our airports in terms of their passage, ingress, and egress out of the country. And so we have approval for the provision of biometric-enabled electronic gates, which is called the popular e-gates, to fast-track solution at the nation's international airports. All our international airports, we want to continue to upgrade those passenger e-gates. I'm sure you have seen some of them, and they enhance passenger experience. So the President has graciously approved that we should continue to upgrade and make sure that those e-gates that promote quick passage of passengers across the airports, we continue to use them and expand on them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.